Greetings and welcome to another Diablo 4 video. Today I want to show you the Dance of Knives Rogue in Season 7. A season that is a few weeks old, maybe a month at this point. I'm late to start it, but nevertheless, maybe you haven't tried out the Dance of Knives Rogue yet, which I have, and started with it this season, and it's really good. Especially if you want to level it as a second character or something, because it's really fast to level up actually. Given that I leveled it mostly through the Mother's Blessing event, which gives like 30 or 35% more XP, and then another Tree of Whispers cache if you open one, so there's sometimes also XP in it. I played like 19 hours, getting into Paragon level 194, and again, I don't have any other character this season yet. So this being said, let's go over the skill tree first. We have Blade Shift with Enhanced and Fundamental. I actually can take away 1 point here because I'm not using Blade Shift anymore. Good that we are talking about this. So I would do this right now and put it into Siphoning Strikes. And then here we only have passives, Sturdy and Siphoning Strikes. Because we don't use any core skill, we are using Dance of Knives, of course. And then Dance of Knives with Enhanced and Disciplined, as well as these very strong passives, Unstable, Elixirs, Weapon Mastery, and Trick Attacks. And we also got Dash with Enhanced Dash and Disciplined Dash, knocking down the enemies, which gives us, I think it's here Malice gives us more damage against knockdown enemies, so you can use that synergy. Often I don't use it because I find it too much of a hassle and unnecessary right now for Torment 4. But I guess if you're like running higher pit levels and you have like a group of monsters there, and you want to dash into to knock them down, for example. And then you can do that. And Concealment with Enhanced and Subverting, making it so that we have always critical strike with our Dance of Knives. More to that in a second. Then Dark Shroud with Enhanced Dark Shroud. We don't need countering because we always have critical strike through Concealment, and we don't need Subverting. We could get it, but don't really necessary. Then Exploit and Malice for just more damage, and then we get a Cold Imbuement with Mixed, and then of course Frigid Finesse, which we do want on our amulet. We don't have it yet, but it is very good for more damage. And then Deadeye, which is one of the new passives, I think, coming in from last season, just giving us a flat out 30x increased damage to distant enemies, which is awesome. And we also get Alchemical Advantage and Deadly Venom. We are tapping into Poison because we are having a Witchcraft power that gives us a poison aura, so this one will also be active. And then we got the Shadow Clone with Supreme Shadow Clone and then Impedus, helping us with our Shadow Clone damage, as well as one into Aftermath to reach Unto Dawn, giving it even more damage, and also one into Second Wind and one into Haze, giving us a little bit more movement speed. As for the key passive, it's Momentum, because we are channeling a Cutthroat skill like all the time, so we are getting easily like to 10 stacks and just keep that running. Moving on to the legendary powers and uniques, we got Umbrous for the Dark Shrouds, we got Concussive Strike for more damage. Currently I'm using Grasp of Shadow. I actually have to check. I do have several Fists of Fate, which would be better. You are looking for the attack speed as a greater affix if you can, because attack speed will increase our base damage of Dance of Knives. But these rolled, other than that, pretty okay. I have to masterwork them though to be better than Grasp of Shadow, I feel like. Anyways, moving on. Right now I have Tacits of the Dawning Sky because I have kind of a little bit of a resistance problem, but with Tacits I have like all maxed out and even higher than maxed out resistances. Ideally you want Tybalt's Will, which I don't have currently, because it gives you increased damage when you're unstoppable, and we are unstoppable a lot because we are using Shadow Clone, for example, which gives us unstoppable for 5 seconds, and this up very soon after again. For your boots, I got the Frostbitten because I get increased critical strike damage against frozen enemies, and as we saw, we are using Cold Imbuement, so that helps us. And then for the stats on it, we're looking for dexterity, we're looking for all resistance. I got movement speed here, and then of course plus to Dance of Knives. Moving on to the crossbow is a synergy aspect here, to giving us even more damage for our next agility skill, which is our Dance of Knives skill. And they're looking for dexterity, max life, critical strike damage, cutthroat attack speed, and then temper it with chance for Dance of Knives to deal double damage, of course. As for the runes here, I have Yaks Quacks, means I'm drinking healing potion 2 times, so that my next non-basic skill cast spends all my resources to deal up to 100% increased damage, which is very good because Dance of Knives does not use any resources, and if we use that, we can use our resources and increase our damage. But more on that in a second when we go to the gameplay on how to do the rotation. Moving back for a second to Tassets, I got Neo Sack, which is not optimal, but if you avoid health damage while fighting for 2 seconds, you can reduce your ultimate cooldown by 2 seconds. That's kind of neat because it gives us more uptime on Shadowclaw, more like, not uptime because we have it actually always up, but we can cast it again, benefiting from various synergies right here, like the Unstoppable, for example. And then if we go into the Paragon, you will see like we have the ultimate board where we get like more damage if we cast an ultimate for a couple seconds. So casting this again and again will give us a damage boost. So that's why I like Neo Sec, but you could also run, there's like a rune which I don't have that gives you +1 to all skills, for example. It's also good. And I like the Neo because we're actually not really fighting, getting damage mostly, but you can also use Buck if you have it because we're traveling a lot of meters. Moving on to the amulet, I have this very neat 3 GA amulet, which gives me nice stats, dexterity, attack speed, lucky hit chance. It's really what we kind of want, but of course an amulet can have even better stats with like passives, and I have it somewhere here actually, the perfect one. Give me 1 second. This is close. No, it was the one, I think, yeah. So what you want is Frigid Finesse and Impedus and Total Armor. This is actually perfect for what we're looking for, but it's not Ancestral. So I do have less resistance to all elements on this amulet then. I could still use it, and it's probably more damage, but I kind of like my 3GA. It just looks so beautiful and has the right tempers for the moment. So looking for Total Armor and then Shadow Clone reduction. Actually not sure why I only have 469 armor at the moment. Kinda confused. But I will check that in a second. I guess I can get a skull here. I haven't even noticed it, so either it doesn't matter or yeah, something I changed something. Anyways, moving on, we have the legendary rings. So we're looking for wait, this one I think is the perfect one. Yeah, looking for dexterity, attack speed, and resistance to all elements on the ring, and then not cutthroat damage, but cutthroat attack speed, and then shadow clone cooldown reduction. So these are not perfect, and these are also not ancestral, but they are pretty decent. And I'm using Shira's Kanjar, which gives me weapon mastery stacks and also more attack speed because our Dance of Knives hits with the dual wield weapon, so this will stack up. And then of course the Star Shards aspect, lastly, to get more damage from Dance of Knives. And again, I'm looking for dexterity, critical strike damage, and maybe max life, and then actually temper for the cutthroat attack speed. I haven't bothered as much because I'm just lucky. I'm just happy to have something cutthroat. I really dislike tempering as a system, and then chance for Dance of Knives to deal double damage, of course. So I guess I have to use this one. That only gives me 50 armor though. I'm really confused what's happening here, but whatever. We are moving on. Specializations. We have preparation because we're using the ultimate a lot, and Paragon's just gonna quickly go over the boards. We have the versatility glyph right here on the base board, and then we are moving on to cheap shot with the headhunter glyph, and then we're moving on to exploit weakness with the control glyph, and moving on to the danse macabre node with the canny glyph. And then we're moving on to the no witness board, as mentioned, with the devious glyphs. So, and other than that, yeah, picking up some of the rare nodes right here. This is the next one that I want to pick up. And yeah, that's about it. That's actually done with like not even 200 Paragon points. I mean, it's a bit more than 200 because we have it from the, what's it called? This Renown. We got the Paragon points, so yeah. around 200 Paragon points, and then you are there. Lastly, Witchcraft. Man, you have to talk a lot about the build here in this game. Tornado, giving us an effect that pulls in enemies, which is really, really nice, and then also dealing damage. And then we got Aura Specialization, giving us more critical strike damage, and also the bigger size of an Aura of Siphoning is the one that I mentioned earlier, gives us the poison damage, which actually activates our poison passives. Hacks of Shattering just gives us a bit of protection. And Soul Harvest gives us more damage just overall, because if we use a cooldown we can primary core stats. And then Grow will give... This was confusing for me first because I was reading it like after casting ultimate skill, your servants, minions and companions are empowered with dark magics, growing larger in size, and I was like, huh? What minions? Then the servants I think is the key point, but I'm not sure if it... Actually not sure if it applies to the mercenary, probably not, but it applies to the Shadow Clone, which is, I guess, a minion or a servant. I don't know what companion, maybe companion is a mercenary. Anyways, this one helps the Shadow Clone deal more damage, and Shadow Clone is a significant portion of the damage. So that's what we got right here. And yeah, let's fix our armor, I guess. I don't even know how. I don't even know what happened. It feels like I'm debuffed to have less armor for some reason. Anyways, so usually I take Elixir of Advantage, giving us more attack speed and lucky hit chance, and then just some soothing spices. Maybe because I was using this one. Gives me 300 armor, so there we go, fixed it. And then Green Sovereign giving dexterity, and this one giving max resistances, so we are actually running with a whole lot of resistances right here. And now I'm overcapped on armor. So yeah, there you go. So we could run some pit, I guess, and see how it goes. But this build, in this equipment, in this state, where I don't even have like all ancestral or something, I don't even have a mythic unique. I actually found a Doombringer, but I can't really use it for this build. It actually comfortably does Torment 4, which is really, really nice. If we go to the pit for Torment 4, for example, we are actually in Torment 4, so same thing. But I like the pit a bit as a measuring stick, because it's not as chaotic as the new, let's say, green or blue health type, whatever you want to call it. So the important part right now is that we are snapshotting Dance of Knives. Snapshotting means whatever is currently on you, buffs and armor and powers, will be used to empower Dance of Knives in the moment, in the snapshot moment that you cast it, and then you want to hold the channel. So what is important with Dance of Knives is that every 30 meters you travel while channeling Dance of Knives grants 4 charges, and that means we need like 190% movement speed at least. So now we have 179, so we are missing 11%, but we are getting more movement speed from momentum, for example, right? Right here we're getting 10 stacks we're actually getting 30% movement speed. So we're way over what we need. That's why I could reroll, for example, these boots to have all rest, but that's another story. And yeah, you want that so you can always channel and it will replenish your stacks, because you have 6 charges and then it will deplete over time, but then we regain it because we are traveling a lot of meters. So that's one part. And now before I channel it, I want to buff myself. And for one, what I showed, we have the what's called Quack's Rune. So I need to drink healing potions, but it's a non-basic skill, so I don't want to use it with my Shadow Clone, because Shadow Clone also buffs my Dance of Knives. So what I do is I drink 1 potion, and you can see here it's like half full, right? Then I cast Shadow Clone, then I cast Cold Imbuement, then well, I forgot to cast Dark Shroud, doesn't matter. Then I cast Concealment, then I cast another potion, and then I go. And I just hold it. And now we get the momentum stacks, which also gives us damage. So I do it again, and now we deal more damage, because the momentum stacks come in when we do the first rotation and we deal damage, right? You see we do more damage now. Wait. And I thought I pressed the potion, but it doesn't matter. The potion part is actually just a bonus. You don't really need it if the enemies are not super hard. So what I was gonna say is, if the momentum stacks, they are stacking already, but the damage is not applied yet. So that's the kind of downside to Dance of Knives. If you get like damage buffs along the way, they are not counting because they are not part of the snapshot, which means they're not part of the moment when you started the channel. So there's like ups and downs to it. But the upside, of course, is that you can just channel it all the time, and it will just keep these buffs, although they're already gone. Buffs that they don't keep, I think, is, for example, the Unstoppable, of course. Unstoppable just goes, and then you don't have the kind of damage boost, for example, from Tibbles or whatever you have. So keep that in mind. That's why I'm recasting my Shadow Clone. Get that Unstoppable again to get that ultimate witness. No witness Paragon. So what I do is, I see the Shadow Clone is up again. I'm pressing Healing Potion, I'm pressing Shadow Clone, Fall Abusement, Concealment, Healing Potion, and then I go. And this sounds and is a bit tedious, but you kind of get used to it, like ching, 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 ching. So I already did it. Especially with controller, I found it to be very fast. And also kind of satisfying if you pull off this little combo. So what you can do with dash now is, you take the potion, you press Shadow Clone, you dash in, you do Call Abusement, Concealment, Potion, and go. So you can put a dash into your rotation, preferably into a pack of monsters. So I'm gonna try this right here, dash in, and then here we go. So they are knocked down, so we do a little bit more damage, but it's not really necessary right now, maybe for like super hard content later on. And the cool thing is, true to our specialization, is that we are getting our cooldowns back when we use Shadow Clone, right? And lastly, you see that aura around me, so I'm gonna go and use the mouse. This aura, you want the enemies to be inside the aura, so you're actually dealing close damage. That's why we have the dagger, giving us damage to close enemies. Because in this aura you deal more damage, you poison the enemies to get more attack speed and all that good stuff. Hey, we upgrade to Legendary Glyph. Yay! Now we have 5x more damage.
There are so many ways I can kill you.
So yeah, that's the build. It's super fun actually. It can be a bit tedious, it can be a bit boring at times, but it actually just, you know, it's spin to win. It is really, really spin to win. Like if we go here, for example, just showing you off for a few seconds the Torment 4. What's this called? Headhunt area, I guess? Headhunt area? You can just like go in and then just spin and spin and spin. And if you're a bit stronger, you don't need to do the full snapshot rotation, you know. But right now I'm not super strong. I actually just got into Torment 4 like maybe a few hours ago. So if you get stronger gears, it gets easier. And there is a variant I saw, I think Woody Joe posted that there's a variant that does not use snapshot anymore and relies more heavily on the Shadow Clone, which is interesting, but you need kind of more gear or something. So maybe I will transition into that later and yeah, maybe show you in another video how it goes. But yeah, this is pretty chill. You know, every now and then you do the snapshot rotation. Now I kind of botched it, but it doesn't matter. Still strong enough. Like again, if you don't do the potion thing, it's not the end of the world. It just makes you a bit stronger. Although you would think it makes you a lot stronger because it's 100% more damage, but I'm not sure if it's just additive damage. Because it doesn't have this little axe on it, right? So yeah, it's kind of chill. Bum, bum, bum. There we go. What could happen is that you get knocked down or knocked back, and then you need to cast it again. Oh, and one more thing. very important thing. So if you don't change settings at all, if you press the A button, if you're a controller, for example, the A button, or I guess on the PlayStation controller the X button, and you pick something up like this Ore Vein, it will cancel your cast. It will cancel your channel. And that's when you need to go away. I want to explain something. You need to go to Options, Controls, and then you need to uncheck this box, combine interact and basic skill, and interact, you put it on your A or X or whatever. This is a force interact, which does not interrupt your channel. Then I had the problem, where do I put my basic skill slot? So I put it on R, like pressing the right stick, which means I don't have a bind for show item labels because I just show them every time. So you're kind of limited with the controller on how many buttons you have. That's why you see I have on the R stick, I have my Dark Shot. I never really use it because it comes through the lucky hit chance. And if you are on keyboard, you have force interact on F. So it's the same as I just mentioned. For example, if I channel Dance of Knives and then I pick up these flowers, it cancels the channel, you see. But if I go and it's a bit tricky because it's on, because I put it on 4. But if I do this, I channel it and I press F here. Okay, it didn't work. Wait, maybe I need to put it here. Let me see. I never really use mouse keyboard, right? Oh yeah. So if you put it on your mouse button, right mouse button, the Dance of Knives, and then force interact with F, then you can just pick up stuff without, or like use stuff. I mean, this one is a channel use, so I cannot use this right now. I have to stop. So here, F, and it doesn't interrupt. I guess you get the picture. But that's a very important part because at the beginning I was like, huh? So if I pick anything up with my controller or something with A, then I will interrupt the Dance of Knives, which is bad because we are snapshotting it, right? So you need to snapshot it again. And yeah, this is when I found that you can do force interact and then it will not interrupt your channel. So very important if you want to play this Dance of Knives snapshot variant, which is the go-to variant for the beginning. And then, yeah, maybe later we can see there's another variant that does not need a snapshot. So yeah, I hope you liked this kind of build or video, and if you did, then please leave a like and consider subscribing for more content like this. And I hope you enjoy this season. I certainly do. And I'll see you in the next one. Good luck, have fun, and goodbye.